Last time on No More Buns, our friends caught up with us at O'Donnell Point for the weekend. We then later moved on to Franklin Island, where Carol and Mom went on a relaxing kayak ride through the many waterways. And finally, we arrived at Point Barrel, where we begin this installment of No More Buns, Boating Vacation 2017.
We left Franklin Island with a questionable weather forecast, but Peter promised it would be a relatively calm ride as we were heading through a fairly protected inlet. Deliberate lie or bad luck? I don't know, but the wind and waves were coming straight down that protected inlet. In either case, we were very happy to reach Point Barrel. Point Barrel is located just off Highway 69, which follows the rail line at this point. It is the next major cottage area north of Parry Sound. Most of the cottages are spread out over the many islands to the west and are only accessible by boat. The station itself is home to several marinas that serve these cottages. It's a very well protected area until you head west past the lighthouse out into the open waters of Georgian Bay. Point Barrel has a very well stocked grocery store at the water's edge. The LCBO, a good fish and chip place, a burger joint, and another general store with fresh baked goods are just a short walk up the road if you are staying at the Government Wharf.
What day is it today? It's Tuesday. Tuesday, July the 24th. And where are we? Where are we coming out of?
Point Barrel.
Barrel Station.
Point Barrel Station after a real crappy day yesterday.
And now we're on our way to the Bustards.
Today is the trip to the Bustards. And hopefully, when we get out there, it's flat. We stayed at Point Barrel Station last night. Busy little spot down there. Nothing to do. A few baked goods. Fish and chips on the highway.
Candy.
And rain.
Train tracks. Don't forget the train.
DECKHAND, the new thing.
It's just a little bronzer. Jesus says to use it.
Oh yes, yes, yes. The new rage for all women.
Older women.
I don't know who else is buying it.
It's probably like some 16-year-olds, that's why I said women.
You just meant older than you.
That's what we're doing here.
Is podcast on here? It's just dance off music. Thursday, January 1st. Obviously lost this a while ago.
What are the dates on it?
Thursday, January 1st, 12.
The lighthouse is closed for visitors. for some open water. Well, we got the calm waters we'd hoped for, but about 20 minutes off Point of Barrel with a heading north towards the Bustards, there was a loud noise and brief vibration from below, and our starboard engine shut down and wouldn't restart. Our choices at that point were to go to Brit in search of someone to look at the boat, or divert to Killarney, which was our ultimate destination after the Bustards, anyways. Both Brit and Killarney have limited mechanical expertise, so if we were going to be stuck somewhere for a few days, we'd all rather be at Killarney Mountain Lodge with the pool and amenities. So, setting the autopilot, we made like a sailboat, cruised at 7 knots, and headed towards Killarney. Luckily, it was sunny, and the autopilot does make that trip a little bit more bearable, allowing me to move around. When you're used to running at 20 knots, it takes some getting used to running only at 7. On the plus side, we didn't burn much in the way of fuel, but that'll be negated later on, I'm sure. The drone's really meant to take off from a stationary point. Taking off from a moving object such as a boat proves a little harder to control than one might think. Bringing the drone back in made for a difficult task, in that we had to bring in the video game expert to help land it. But you can see by the footage that he was having some difficulty himself, maneuvering it over towards myself. But little perseverance, little yelling, we managed to get the thing in and land it safely. It didn't end up at the bottom of Georgian Bay. Hey Sam. So update. Boat's broken. On autopilot to Killarney.
We have been for the last several hours.
It's a 6-hour trip. This is what it's going to be like when we have our trawler, our Nordhaven, and we're sailing, we're flying the waves to the Caribbean and South Pacific. Clash Mountains, and we're about an hour and 56 minutes to Killarney. Thank goodness for the autopilot.
Don't fall off the boat.
Yeah, that's good. The waves are getting a little bit bigger now, so. Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't notice.
Say hi, Bun.
Hi, Bun.
Alright.
I don't want to be photographed with these glasses on. I don't think they look that good on me.
Oh, alright. Come back here, Bun.
It took about 7 hours, but we finally made our way into Killarney. Peer pressure stuck to our original plan and enjoyed a stopover in the Bustards. As it turned out, the following day was not a good day for travel. Peer pressure left the Bustards, but ended up tucking in at the Bad River for the night before setting out the following day for Killarney.
The sportsman in, there's a deep pockets over. Yes, I have a 40-foot vessel just coming up your channel right now. We have a reservation for 8 slips, titled...
A little work being done on the dock. Here we are in Killarney. Dreamboat.
In recent years, the Killarney Mountain Lodge has been purchased by someone with great memories of its heydays. The lodge has been tastefully rebuilt into a first-class resort while retaining the best of its past. The new great room is spectacular, and there now is patio dining along with a fabulous main dining lounge.
trivia on Killarney. The town was named after the town of Killarney in Ireland. The area was first settled in 1820 by French-Canadian fur traders until the furs ran out. It was then operated as a fishing camp by the Fruhoff Trailer Company in the late 1940s to the early 60s. Roy Fruhoff, president of the company, was primarily responsible for operating the town. Clients and guests would be flown in via seaplane during the warmer summer months. It wasn't until 1962 that Highway 637 would be the road to connect to Highway 69. Traveling down the channel to the east, this marks a jumping off point to take you back down to southern Georgian Bay, or slightly more southwest to Tobermory. Many American boaters will continue their journey southward beyond Tobermory down to southern Lake Huron and into the shores of Lake St. Clair. Looking west down the channel, one can see the La Cloche Mountains in the background. We've been boating on Georgian Bay for over 27 years, and Killarney is one of our favorite destinations. As we continue down the channel, we first come across the Killarney Mountain Lodge where we're actually staying. Over the last few years, it's undergone major renovations, including new docks and a dockside cafe building. Part of the renovation of the docks involved increasing the capacity to approximately twice as many boats as they used to be able to handle. Further down the channel, we have the general store, the drive-in liquor store, and the world-famous Herbert Fisheries Fish and Chips. The Sportsman Inn rounds things out. It's the other destination for most boaters. Newly renovated and can accommodate large groups and rendezvous. Well, we've got everything ready for the Killarney mechanic to come and have a look at, see what he can come up with. Looks like we've got a blown head gasket on the boat, which isn't good. So we've got about a 140-mile journey back to Midland. I head for Tobermory first thing in the morning so we can spend the day there. Hopefully the water's good, but not a cheap fix coming up. But that's just part of boating. As we will determine once we're back at the marina, we don't have a blown head gasket. We actually have a hole in the top of one of the pistons. Anybody who knows anything about engines knows that's not very good. Oh, now you gotta talk again.
I'll throw you touch your back. I'm gonna have a delicious sandwich. I do not like the blokes because I want to just eat sandwich. I just want the freaking sandwich. That's all you gotta have to me. Recently constructed main building and the lodgings that were just finished this spring. Like you can see yourself, like I feel like you shouldn't be doing that. Like it's always awkward. Like what if you don't know it's like you walk in, you're just like, do I seat myself? Because there's no organization, or it's like maybe someone will walk up. It's the worst.
Sometimes they say, please wait to be seated, or they say, please seat yourself.
Yeah, but we just walk through the sign.
Alright, relax.
No.
We're paying guests.
Paying guests. Exactly.
Congratulations, you're the king.
When I sit today.
Flippy. camera.
Look like a 1970s officer.
Looks like we got a couple of Weisenheimers. Hey, a couple of Weisenheimers.
Hey, Weisenheimers. Alright, we're gonna be catching the Weisenheimers. Yeah! Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
I like this tree. We need more shots of this tree. Nice shot of that plane there. Some turning. I generally don't know how to work this thing. I think my dad thought I would because he thinks I'm good with all technology. He got the GoPro. I'm not kidding you. Before we were leaving, we had to leave because he was messing around. He's like, "Oh, we need to go. We need to pick up Tyler." He's like, "No, but first, Ryan, why don't you figure out how to get an SD card in here?"
Are you coming down with us?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going home that week. I might have to because I gotta work on my Jean cosplay.
With us. Like when I go down, are you coming with?
Yeah, because my mom and sister aren't. Your male one.
What's that?
Starting to get busy.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, Carol said they'll be up in a bit.
You're not getting a pump out?
They're getting pump out and gas. Have fun?
Yeah.
All right. Off you go, Ollie. Go on. One of the problems of being tall is my head is the first one to come up against critters such as this. There we go.
My son wants your Rocket Man. Over the years, there has been one constant for entertainment in Killarney. No trip to Killarney is complete without at least one evening at the Octagon Lounge, listening to the song stylings of Andy Lowe. Andy can sing almost anything you might request, but he is talented in his own right and has created many wonderful and humorous tunes about Killarney and life in general.
Thursday night. Just finished a nice dinner. Gonna go up and see Andy Lowe. Looks like it's gonna be a nice day tomorrow for our long putt to Tobermory. Ready to go. Join us on our next episode when we leave Killarney for Tobermory at 5:30 on Friday morning, only to get diverted back to the east side of the bay. We have one disappointed 11-year-old. Peer pressure and no more buns. Head off to Craigamorris for a little dinner. Thanks for watching. See you next time.